And that's one thing that my family helped me to understand. When we eat out the same plate, we family now.
I've seen you, and you don't do it for this reason, but I've seen you buy Christmas gifts for kids whose parents couldn't do it. I've seen you help people get their cars fixed who didn't have the money to do it, and you did it. Where does that come from? Who instilled that in you?
My grandfather always said, never be afraid to learn. You can learn from a baby. You know what I mean? If you're willing to open your ears and listen.
Right. Thanks for tuning in to the next edition of Conversations with Brent. We have Mr. John O'Neill Petway, known as, how many names you got, man? I've heard people call you all kind of names.
About 16. But the only one I don't, that I really answer to is the one that, you know what I'm saying, I'm never late.
Never late.
I'm always on time. I'm saying I'm on my time. So you know
I was about to say, anybody know
I'm
you.
on God's time.
I know
okay?
you on your own time.
I'm on God's time. Okay? I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I you know what I'm saying, and we're gonna strike that from this conversation. You can call me that because the, you know what I mean, expedition is not up just yet. You know what I'm saying, on that name. So
we got about what?
I've done some things
months?
in the past. Yeah, I got 6 more months.
6 more months, and then you be calling it.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
So, who is John O'Neill Petway, also known as Neil?
I'm a gentleman at the heart, but I come from a hard-working family. We're from New York.
Okay. Where in New York?
Long Island, Queens, Queens and Long Island. My family is some people that migrated from Alabama.
Okay.
Want a better life. My grandparents were sharecroppers. My family, they invested in cars, and I mean, in doing what they do,
right.
Building cars. We didn't have a lot of money because we were poor, but we made things work in the way that my family kept the younger generation together of guys. They had us at the shop every Saturday. We'd go to the shop, we'd hang out, we'd drink beers, we'd clean cars, work on cars, all cars, whatever. I didn't have them back then because I was too young.
Right.
When I turned 8, my family said that I could not get no more free money. Hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, who don't like Mr. Softy?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The ice cream, you know what I'm saying? Who don't want free money? But anyway, they made me work in the shop. So I was there Friday evenings, Saturdays, and Sunday I went to church. And after church, I sometimes would go to the shop. If not that, we would have dinner at my house, our house.
Okay.
And watch football and stuff like that. So it was always a unit situation. It was always our family. And people that were not, that I learned became aunts and uncles.
Right.
That were not family, but they became family because we broke bread. And that's one thing that my family helped me to understand. When we eat out the same plate, we family now.
Right.
You know what I mean? I trust you. And putting people cars together, that's family.
So I want to digress from cars. We're going to come back to cars, but when you said something that made me think of something, you're probably one of the most giving people I know. You will give your last.
Man, don't say that out loud.
You will help anybody.
You know what? I will slap a baby. Don't say that like that, man. I will slap a baby. You know
anyway, where did that compassion?
And kiss his mama.
Where did the compassion come from wanting to help people? I've seen you, and you don't do it for this reason, but I've seen you buy Christmas gifts for kids whose parents couldn't do it. I've seen you help people get their cars fixed who didn't have the money to do it, and you did it. Where does that come from? Who instilled that in you?
That's deep, man. Look, I ain't gonna cry, man. I told you this. I ain't gonna cry. You know what I'm saying? This ain't supposed to be this type of thing now. But it came from my grandfather and my mother. My grandfather had the heart of a servant.
Okay.
But he stood for everything. And he instilled values in all of us. I'm an only child. But I grew up with my cousins, and one of my uncles. And my father wasn't there.
Right.
So my uncles, which are like my cousins, became my uncles. And my older, you know what I'm saying, older cousins became my older brothers. And they all just put stuff into me.
Right.
And they showed me how to live and blessed me with certain things. And my grandfather always said, never be afraid to learn. You can learn from a baby. You know what I mean? If you're willing to open your ears and listen
Right.
to what they're saying and learn from them. But your heart, you're supposed to give to people because all we have is each other.
That's right.
And if somebody is in need for something, you're supposed to help them. It's a God-given thing. By you helping somebody, you're not looking for something in return. Because if I have the access, I'm accessible, and I have the right people and I have the right situation, and I can help you to get to that next chapter in your life, and you don't have to struggle like we've struggled. That's the whole point. That's what the whole movement, you know what I mean, of the civil rights were.
Right.
To try and put our people in a better place. And that's what my family and my grandfather stood for.
Yeah, because one of my favorite sayings is, you showed me a self-made man, I'll show you a man that didn't make much.
Yeah. Yes,
we all need
yes,
somebody
yes,
or multiple people
yes,
to help mold us to who we are.
yes.
So going back to cars, if money was no object and you can buy 2 cars, an everyday car and a luxury car. I think I know what you would say for luxury, but I'm not sure on everyday. What would the everyday be?
Every day would be a M Series X5 2010.
Okay.
Reason why? Because it's a Beamer. Who don't want to be in a BMW?
Who don't
and
want
I done
to
grew
be?
up. I done grew up. I done suffered. I done struggled too much. You know what I'm saying? I had too many beaters. You know what I mean? But just saying that with all
Do you know what
jokes aside,
BMW stands for, by the way? I'm going to tell you because you may not know. Brent Miller's Wheels, because I love me some Beamers. So BMW, just remember that. Brent Miller's Wheels. Got that? All right, continue.
stock value, study crashing. Anyway, like I was saying, no disrespect. So as we were saying now, what would you know what I mean with that rhetoric, what that you just went on about, why I would have that vehicle is because it's built to last, and it's the best vehicle, period.
Right.
It is all around. It's a soccer mom's truck. And if I run up on somebody, you know what I mean, driving a Dodge, which always dodges races, which always dodges the finish line, with all, you know, y'all got all those issues, but you know what I'm saying, y'all always want to be, you know what I'm saying, that guy, you know what I mean? Which I beat up on him a lot. So let me keep the record straight. Yeah, I done killed a bunch of Dodgers. It's you're still sleek. You still have that look.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's sexy. That truck is sexy. And as fast as I don't know what. I would like to curse, but I can't because of, you know, the auditorium that we're in right now. And I know the producer, she will beat the brakes off you with a frying pan. You know what I mean? The metal skillet. So I'm working on that. I'm in progress. I'm in church. So I think that'll be my everyday car, because I can also, if I need to tow something, I can hook a trailer to it. You know what I mean? It's all-wheel drive. It's over 600 horses. It's something sexy. Now the car that I would reach towards, my classic, yeah, that classic is it's gotta be, you know what I'm saying, it would have to be probably that Rolls Royce, that double R. I mean, like I said,
for your luxury?
For my luxury,
Now,
yeah.
you know what I thought you was going to say for your luxury?
What?
Is it called a Wraith?
Yeah, that's it.
It's also a double R?
Yeah, it's a double R.
Oh, okay.
A Wraith is a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a Rolls Royce, but I thought it was...
Yeah, it's
What is it about that Wraith? Because I remember we were in Dallas, and you saw one.
Jesus.
And you lost your mind.
Lost my mind. I sat in the car, whatever, and just dreamed to myself. I felt like, y'all should dip me in chrome and put me on the front of the hood. You know what I'm saying? That's what I felt like.
Right.
Like, that car is a Rolls Royce. And anyone that knows anything about a car, Rolls Royce don't really lose their values because it's hand built, like a Jaguar used to be, or Aston Martin. But that Wraith is just, it's a 2-door, it's convertible. It's hardtop. It's timeless. it stands for something. It's like wearing a Rolex.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or Breitling, which Breitling is with Bentley. And Bentley and Rolls-Royce used to be together. Bentley was a division for Rolls-Royce for racing.
Right.
And then they split.
Okay.
So having, you know what I'm saying, having that Wraith is the best of both worlds. Because you still have a V12. It's still supercharged. It's still fast as hell. It's heavy as hell too.
Right.
But who really wants to run 160 miles per hour in a Wraith when all you really want to do is just be seen, because that's what those people overseas drive. You know what I mean? Those real royalty.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a symbol of royalty. Like Cadillac was to the black man is a symbol of royalty. And deuce and a quarter, because that's what we could afford.
Right.
But now that, you know what I mean, that we're all in a different state and different place in life, we can afford these things, which I'm so blessed and I'm so happy for people around me. But that's why that's my luxury. That is my luxury car that comes in the house and it sleeps in the living room. Like the wall's knocked out. So the wife would have to understand that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Literally, like if she died, I'll paint a mirror on the back of the car and and on the hood, on the trunk of the car, on the inside, and that'll be that. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying that's
That's the one. So I know you have a love of cars.
Yeah.
But you also had another love that you had with the music industry. And what did you do in the music industry?
I swept floors. You know
what I mean, Negro.
I was a roadie. Okay. I used to be a dancer. I was a professional dancer.
And who all have you danced with or for?
I danced for Original Concept. We did videos for Mariah Carey. It's a list. I got a heck of a list. Mariah Carey. Who else? Special Ed. I was an IOU dancer also, which was has also with Big Daddy Kane dancers.
Okay.
Michael Jackson. Who else? Diana Ross.
Because I think when we first met, when we moved here, we were talking, and my daughter heard you say you danced for Michael Jackson, and it was a Remember the Time video.
Right.
And she went in on the computer and found the exact frame where you could see your face dancing with Remember the Time. What was that like, Mike being the icon he was and his videos being second to none? What was it like to dance in Remember the Time video?
I mean, it was cool. I mean, it was, I like Mike because he worked with us and he wasn't like the rest of these so-called pop stars or, you know what I mean, these pop-up music, musicians.
Right.
You know, he was in there putting in the work also. He knew how to do a 16 count, an 8 count to a 16 count. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And he was, you know, when Stretch gave directions or whatever, he didn't have a problem with taking them. You know what I mean? And that was the best thing about it. I mean, like it was more amazing to me to see the craftsmanship and what type of artist he really was.
Right.
So like towards the end of Yo MTV Raps, I was supposed to battle Hammer, which a lot of people didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to battle Hammer because he wanted to battle Mike. Right. And I'm like, you nowhere near on that caliber. Like you're good, but that's great. Like that dude could do a spin, like a 16 count spin or whatever, and can, like you walk past him, he's still spinning. Like you looking at your watch like, yo, how long is this dude really gonna spin? Right. Like 6 spins at one time. You know what I mean? That's a pirouette. Like Mike was one of the greatest. You know what I mean? So to see him and to see like and Prince, like these are certain artists that, you know what I mean, that didn't just have an ear, didn't just have, you know what I mean, just the quality. That was just godly designed. Right. And I wanted to be not Michael Jackson because I couldn't sing, but I wanted to be somewhere around that place because I was a hoofer. I used to tap dance also. Okay. And so growing up, I watched Jimmy Slide, the Nicholas Brothers. Right. And I stole a lot of stuff from them. So, and that's what we do.
So based on being in the music industry, dancing, who would you say in this day and age is closest to Mike or has that Mike ability?
To be honest with you,
I mean, there's nobody really, but who would you say is close?
the most talented kid that I've seen come up, and I give him all props, despite, you know what I'm saying, the challenges of being successful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem that they don't teach you in the industry.
Right.
Success, what comes with it. Chris Brown.
That's who I was thinking.
Chris Brown, hands down.
You talking about somebody sing,
he's a
dance?
He's a threat. He's three talents all wrapped up in one. He can sing, he can dance, he's a model. He can also, and I also did modeling too. He can also act. And acting, you know what I'm saying, is everything.
Right.
Because that's what opened doors to other, you know what I'm saying, vehicles. You can use it as a vehicle and open up doors to other situations.
Right.
And your brand. And that brand is like, you know, it's crazy.
So I want to touch on one other thing before we get done. There was another passion you had.
Or racing motorcycles?
Boxing. How'd you get started in boxing?
I was the smallest dude in my family and I couldn't be the runt. And they said I was the prettiest one, which I don't never believe that because my mama said I was ugly when I was born. I was an ugly kid. I could not be her child. You know what I'm saying? It was all kind of jokes that was going on between my family.
Right.
But I was good at it. I was talented.
Okay.
Because my arms come down to my knees. You know what I'm saying? I always had the reach. And besides that, I always had the heart.
Right.
Because I've always been fearless because of my grandfather. I was never scared of anything.
Okay.
So, you know, learning how to fight was just being around my family. Because when you're growing up that close and everybody around you is brolic, I'm the smallest dude. Like, I'm the littlest guy. So they just had to teach me because their name, the Petways, stood for something. Because we couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like I told you when we first met, I stand for too much because I can't fall for anything else.
Right.
And I got too many other people behind me that look at me. And my grandfather, in his eyes, what he envisioned us to be when we grew up was something great. And stand for something and be honest to people. So I guess that's why I invented the situation with myself of being a big brother, of being a protector of people and things and their situations and their cars and stuff on that page.
So we learned that John O'Neal Petway, known as Neil, has danced in music videos, loves cars, and boxes. What is it that you're doing now?
I'm trying to become a pimp, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to pimp the industry and the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually, I work for a local 479. I'm a prop builder. I work in the movie industry. But I also own Extreme Detailing. I mean, it's DTT, which is Dimitri Taylor Tyler Extreme Detailing.
Okay.
That's my son, my niece, and my nephew, which are like my other two kids.
Right. And what does Extreme Detailing do? Because I hear detailing, but no, since I know you, I know it does more than detailing.
We're to the extreme. Where I used to tell people back in the days that I'm literally always up here. My temper is always up here. Right. Because I got no ceiling and I have no room for nothing else. So the extreme detailing is we're actually over people's heads because we do wheel kits. We actually do suspension. We actually upgrade your vehicle. So if you have a 2012, we'll bring it from a 2012 to a 2020 or a 21. And we add things that, you know what I mean, back in those days you couldn't get. Right. Because if you had a base model car, you had only got this, and that. And the thing with base model cars, every year, the car that, you know what I'm saying, is a LX or a LS or that's not an RT. Because an RT is not just a base model, but you have a Hemi motor. Right. But you might not have, you know what I'm saying, the push dash, push start.
And all this is for all you gearheads, because he lost me a few minutes ago. So
I'm sorry about that. I apologize. I'm trying to slow down and keep everybody with me, but not without boring you. But certain features and certain things with cars, when you look at the back, the numbers on the back of the car, the letters on the back of the car is what tells you what that car has in it.
Right.
And if you order a car, which you could have did in the early 60s, 50s, 70s, which everybody was doing that, you know, they'll order a car. So your car it might just be a regular car, look like a regular car, but you got that big motor in it. You have, you know what I'm saying, that the drivetrain, a racing drivetrain.
Right.
And then, you know what I'm saying, you know, and you'll take it to the track and if you break it, you fix it at the track. And that's what gearheads do. We help each other.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you can get back home and go to work the next day.
So
yeah.
Extreme Detailing, how can they get in touch with Extreme Detailing?
I have a website that we're building right now. Or you can talk to, to this gentleman here, who is who's my vice president of my company, who was supposed to be my silent partner, but he's always talking. So that's the problem with him, you know what I mean? Because he says I'm always the Velcro, but he never talks about the glue. So he's actually the glue to the Velcro. I want y'all to understand that. So saying that much, that's how you get in touch with me. But we also, like I said, we do paint, we do interior work. You let me know how fast you want to go. I'll let you know how much it's going to be.
Okay. So Extreme Detailing, I'll make sure to put a link where you can find Extreme Detailing. And I just want to say thank you for being on Conversations with Brent. I talk a lot. I might as well do something with it. And you can follow me, BK3Mill, on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Just Google in YouTube, Conversations with Brent. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And if you feel inclined to, comment. Thanks for watching.
I appreciate you. Now, can I get a